Hello, everybody. We are the Geeks and Degenerates. I am Enzo. This is my forever co-host, Jom. And today we're doing something a bit different since it is the weeks leading up to Christmas and the New Year. I thought we'd just do some chill videos. Not really movie-centric, except for one this week, but just talk about things we like and things that I guess going to happen within this month. We have I think, just a recap of 2023 after this if
hmm
if everything goes according to plan. But yeah, as you've seen in title and description, we are doing the worst and best of 2023. The things we've seen, at least. We haven't seen everything of 2023. I haven't seen Godzilla minus one. Have you?
God, not yet. I don't think it's out yet for digital or
The
like
Philippines.
cinemas here.
Yeah. I haven't seen the Killers of the Flower Moon or Rebel Moon, but Rebel Moon comes out like literally on the doorstep of Christmas, so
Yeah,
we'll just have to do that when it comes out for next year.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, we'll talk about both the things we like and dislike, obviously, and I think it's safe to start with a show that kicked off the new year with a bang, I would say, which is The Last of Us. Um, 10 years after the original came out, I would say it does it again, creates another masterpiece.
Hmm.
Don't know how they did it twice, but I'm glad the show turned out exactly the way it did.
I mean, yeah, like coming from the creators of Chernobyl, like I wasn't really surprised, and like I had full on trust that hey, okay, this is gonna be okay. We're gonna be fine when it comes to The Last of Us, and yeah, sure, some things were a little different. Some castings might have had a little controversy with some certain people, but other than that, like it stood true to like its story and
Yeah,
everything. Um, I will say that it does not feel the same as the game. That's
yeah,
just my honest opinion, but that's because we're not the ones making the decisions. We're not the ones
playing
going
it.
through the world anymore. Yeah, so it's entirely up to the storytellers to let us know are they gonna make it out or not, who's gonna get infected or not, and yeah. So like other than that, it's still a really good show, and I really can't wait for season two. Even though there are some people who don't like
The Last of Us 2.
just yeah, The Last of Us too.
Yeah,
There is some merit to it. I don't like it to a degree, but there are some merits to it. There's some good parts. Other than that, I really did enjoy Last of Us too.
yeah. I for the show, I would add that the casting is excellent. I never thought Pedro Pascal would kill it as Joel as much as Troy Baker, but he did. Same with Bella Ramsey as Ellie, and I think those two are just amazing in their roles. Same with like other characters like Anna Torv as Tess and like what's his face, Nick Offerman as Bill. Episode
Oh
three
yeah.
still brings me to like every time I see it. And like I love the fact that the ending of the show still leaves me the same way I was 10 years ago. Of like, huh? How can you leave off on that?
Yeah, you promise. I promise. Don't. I'm like, well, damn it. Yep.
Son of a bitch, not again. Same with
Nah.
the beginning of the show. I was like, ah, fuck, not again. I'm staring 1,000 years there, and now the same with the ending. Why Neil Druckmann? Why?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we already gave our ratings for it, so we're just pretty much recapping the year.
Yeah.
And speaking of shows, one show that I would like to talk about that kinda, I think we kind of underestimated and didn't understand fully until the entire thing came out, and everybody says that it's Marvel's masterpiece, and it's Loki.
I haven't
Like,
finished it yet, but do
I
talk about
haven't
it.
finished it either. Yeah, so to the viewers, we have to admit that we did not finish Loki.
Yeah.
When we were a little bit confused with how the story was going, we didn't really know where it was going. And I guess now that it's fully complete, like it is like a cohesive and like, oh, I get it now, which I
Yeah.
did call. I don't know. We haven't seen the last two episodes yet.
I hear Tom Hiddleston said that it is a complete arc to what his character was 10 years ago in the first Thor. Like, it completes his story, which I find
Okay.
exciting.
Yeah, same here. So we might have to give it a chance, and I think we are going to have like we're not going to go back to those two episodes.
Yeah.
We're mostly just going to watch the entire season again, this time to its completion, and then we'll just give you guys a review probably in the future.
Yeah.
Um, but other than that, like yeah, it is a shame that we kind of went into like I don't get it. We'll take a break from it, and then as it went on, it actually was like really good.
Yeah.
Which I think I had a little bit of like, okay, maybe that's the route they're going with, but I think we were just filled to the brim with like a shit ton of stuff to film,
Yeah.
especially with like Invincible and all that, and some new movies that came out that month. So we kind of just had to put it on hold. So it's such a shame.
Yeah. That's a shame. Well, you already talked about. We already gave two good, so unfortunately that means we have to give at least two bad.
Hmm.
Uh, you know what? I'm gonna start with. Should I go for the big one first or the small one first?
Either one, man. You can
Huh.
shit on it anyway.
You know what?
Let me
Let's.
guess, Ant Man.
You know what? Fine. No, let's start with something a bit bigger than that, which is the Flash. My God, I watched it twice, and twice I was like, huh?
Homie, you know, you kind of did this twice. Like there was something really nice that came out with the Flash, and you would I think you had to ask me or somebody. They're like, oh, which one should I watch? Should I watch the Flash or this other really great movie? Same with like Blue Beetle and another movie, Teenage
TMNT.
Mutant Ninja
Yeah.
Turtles. I was like, but yeah, you you kind of held off on like watching really good movies for shitty horror like DC hero movies,
You know what? I'm
superhero
gonna
movies.
show the results of that poll here, so I can prove that I went with the majority, which said Blue Beetle. The comment section on Facebook too said Blue Beetle. I went with the majority, which is unfortunate.
My
Sometimes,
God, the majority let you down really bad.
apparently. But yeah, Flash. You know what? I had hopes, even though I didn't like the lead. It's safe to say that both of us don't like the lead, Ezra um, Miller. Um, but like, I was like, oh cool, Michael Keaton, Ben Affleck's coming back. Sasha Kaya
George
looks cool.
Clooney,
George Clooney for a second. Sasha Kaya looks cool and badass as Supergirl. They even got Michael Shannon to come back as Zod, my favorite DCU villain of all time for now. So I was like, alright, some signs are there that says it's good, and just the way the story played out and how bad. Let's be honest, how bad the effects were. I was like, my God, what is
oh
this?
my God! Like every time he went back in time, I was like, please stop going back in time.
Yeah,
Like it's just horrible. And then you see them with teeth, and they're like, I'm like, oh God.
that shot of like the two berries and Supergirl landing on the battlefield looks like a PS3 loading screen. I was like, what is that?
It does. Oh my God, you're right. Like this is straight up PS3. Like, oh God, like it wasn't rendered right or anything. It's like 2007 graphics.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, what happened? Like we had Pacific Rim in 2013. What is this?
yeah.
And then there was like that baby, the dog.
Oh yeah, when
Well,
Barry's rescuing the babies from the hospital.
yeah, like it was all bad. The only redeeming thing that was there was Michael Keaton playing as Batman, but him, being Batman and fighting in the dark really helped probably cover up majority of the CGI that was needed.
Yeah, yeah. His fight scenes were cool, but like I don't like the fact that they just brought in Supergirl to Bridger. I was like, why?
Hmm.
I don't get that. I really don't.
Yeah, but not gonna lie, I will say I would love to see. I don't know if Michael Keaton would be up for it. He is a little bit older now, but like a Michael, like him as Batman returning for maybe one last or two movies because I had a lot of fun
Yeah.
with acoustic Batman. Him using like a tape measure, doing math, and I'm like,
On
yeah,
the
you know what?
on the spot, they're like, yeah,
Yeah.
let's go. He was supposed to be in that canceled Batgirl movie that we'll never see. Yeah, the one with Brandon Root and Leslie Grace. Leslie Grace as Batgirl, Brandon Root as like Firefly,
Okay,
and
look, you know what? I think I don't know if I had enough trust with
DC.
DC at this point.
Yeah, well, you already hinted at it. Let's talk about the smaller DC movie, which is Blue Beetle. To be fair, I think Blue Beetle had a better, bit more care into it than the Flash. Flash feels corporate. Blue Beetle feels like at least you have passion into it. Don't agree with the story or where it went, but I at least I can at least watch it again. I'll say that I can have fun with it. It's not it maybe on like the bad scale, but like it's not on the trash scale like the Flash for me.
Uh, oh, okay. It's look, the only things I like about the Blue Beetle movie is the suit, the actor himself,
Hmm.
and that's it. I didn't like the family dynamic. I didn't like the forced romance that they had. I really hated the villain.
Oh yeah,
I was
the
like, these are all fucking bad. And I was like, and I don't know if you noticed, like every time the suit would the one of the nice things was like the suit would like generate a weapon, and it's like a classic sci-fi weapon.
yeah.
So like I saw some of those, and it was really nice. But other than that, and I really hated the PS2
Oh
hub
yeah, I
that
watched
he
it
has.
again and I was like, yeah, wow, Drum's right about the inside. I was like, what is that?
It hurts my eyes looking at it. I'm
Yeah,
like,
like the
my
suit
God,
itself is beautiful. You're like, god damn, that's a masterpiece. And you
right? It
see,
is it's accurate, you
yeah,
know, like
and then you
yeah.
see the inside. You're like, am I in a PS2 game? I'm sorry.
Now you know I would throw up in that suit.
Yeah, it's also nice to see that one of our fellow podcaster Inka Magnaya was in the movie as a voiceover.
I didn't know she used to go to school with us, by the way.
Yeah, her
Yeah.
and I think one of her siblings, but that's neither here and there. But yeah, it's cool that she used to be is a podcaster, not used to be, but used to be our schoolmate turned podcaster, and now she's a voiceover. Gives us hope that maybe we can do that someday. Uh,
Oh, dude, just imagine if we're like on GTA 6
that
and
would
like
be
the radio.
amazing. Uh, so we're back to good stuff. Do you want to start with the good stuff?
Donuts, donuts.
Oh, I go ahead. Um, okay.
Oh,
Let's talk about sure. Let's talk about action. John Wick 4 was a pretty good conclusion to this franchise.
yeah, yeah. We recently had to do a redo on that review.
Yeah,
Uh, YouTube did for some reason didn't like something.
I
I don't
guess.
know. Yeah, we got flagged for that one. But yeah, so I gotta say, yeah, goodbye, Mr. Wick. Well, not really, because we are gonna see him in the ballerina,
Yeah,
like TV show,
movie.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
and there's going to be a TV show about the Continental, but I love where it started and where it ended
yeah,
with the whole it started out with a stupid concept of an assassin getting a dog after his wife died, and now he's just going on a like a killing spree. And since he dipped his toe back into the pool, now he can't get out.
yeah,
And that's the entire lore of John Wick, and it was such a good ride.
yeah.
The Hotline Miami scene, Donnie Yen giving us a very creative way of how a blind person would be a really good assassin.
Scott Adkins being unrecognizable.
Yeah. Oh god. And what else?
Just again, I said this in our second video and first video that the action is just chef's kiss, like amazing. Like I can't think of any other franchise this year or movie this year that committed so well to action and pulled it off so well. As you mentioned, Hotline Miami. There's also the Continental and Osaka scene where
Mm.
Akira is just taking out the bulletproof people with like close range arrow shots. You're like, oh shit, that's gnarly, but that's so fucking cool.
Yeah, and like, oh, and Hiroyuki Sanada being killed on screen again.
You're
Not a
all
fan of that, but other than that, it's still a good movie, and that's
yeah,
still a good send off to one of our favorite action heroes. And we really thought action heroes would be campy. Sorry to say, Vin Diesel, Fast and Furious esque
yeah,
kind of genre. Same with like Jason Statham. Not saying Jason Statham's in bad movies. I'm just saying they're in
you.
that category now
I
of
mean,
like,
say what you will about the Meg too, but he's quite entertaining.
yeah, yeah, it is. It's still, I still like the Meg. Not
Yeah,
gonna lie, even though it's very campy.
yeah,
But uh, I don't know. John Wick and Keanu Reeves, it hits different. You know.
yeah. I mean, it's a pretty good send off. I don't know what else to say because like we already said everything we wanted to say, but I'm glad that Keanu has this like resurgence back because before John Wick, a lot of people. I think this movie before John Wick was the 47 Ronin, and we were like,
No,
yeah, it's like that's
no.
pretty.
There was another movie with Ana de Armas where there are like these two psychopath girls who just,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah.
Don't know if that's good or bad, but like I haven't seen it.
Oh, it was horrible, but like, yeah.
So yeah, people are kind of like, it's Keanu Reeves. I don't know, and then they see the first one, they're like, okay, and now they're like, yeah, fuck yeah, Keanu Reeves is everywhere in Cyberpunk and like Toy Story. I'm glad he
Mm.
has this resurgence because, according to most people, he's one of the nicest people on this planet, and I'm glad he's getting what he deserves. You know, you reap what you sow. You're a good person, and you get good things in this life. That's at least what I believe.
Yeah.
Uh, but going down the action scale a bit, there was Mission Possible Dead Reckoning Part 1, um, which we did a review on recently, but like, oh, you froze.
Yeah, you frozen my head. Okay, there we go.
But like, what else is there to say other than what we already said? Action's still pretty good, to be honest.
Actually, it's so good, but god damn, it was messy.
Yeah, you're like, what is
Like,
this?
like I don't know. The villain's not that great. Sorry to say, he's not much of a standout compared to, as you said, the
Henry Cavill
like
and
Walker and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the other guy, the dude with the glasses.
Solomon, Mister.
Oh
In
yeah,
order to have a
yeah,
great
Solomon
peace.
something.
Yeah, yeah. Or Rabbit
But
Foot
like,
guy.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just, I'm sorry, man. Like the action's great. I love seeing Tom Cruise do his own stunts, but I don't know. It doesn't feel urgent.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like, "Oh, this is it. This is Hunt's last mission." It's like it's not a great hurrah,
Yeah,
in
like
my opinion.
I think the major thing is for me at least, fridging Ilsa and having no reaction. I think you pointed that out and I was like, yeah. Why is Hunt so like, oh well, there's always Steve Rogers' girl, Grace. And you're like,
Yeah, right.
but the last two movies I could have sworn you were in love with Ilsa. I don't
Yeah,
understand
like
now.
that was the big deal, right? Like, hey, here's the girl that your other girl trusts to keep you safe and to make you happy,
Yeah.
and then they just kill her off because cute thief girl. And I'm like no. And if you say they didn't make a romance, there's a shit ton of sexual tension between them.
Right? So you're like, what's the point?
Yeah,
Uh, so I hope part two gets a better send off than part one has to start. You know,
yeah.
because this
And I hope
franchise
so
has
too.
again a resurgence. So it's like it was going there, and kind of goes, and I'm like, please don't go back to two. I'm begging you.
I don't know what the formula is on what made Solomon Lane a good bad guy.
Yeah. Or
Oh shit.
Walker.
Okay.
Oh,
Or Walk. I know Walker because he was there, and he's this big intimidating guy. And then we were kind of on his side for a bit until we weren't,
yeah.
and like, and we still had like the risk of losing his first wife.
Yeah.
But here they're like, oh, there's this guy from Ethan's past. It's like, oh, what'd he do? And then Ethan just goes, trust me, you don't want to know. And then they're like, we gotta stop him. And then yeah, they just went off. And I was like, I kind of want to know a little bit more about the bad guy. You know, other than he used to be part of this secret mercenary group before Ethan joined.
And it's
You know,
now head over heels for AI. You're like, why?
right?
Explain to me how you benefit out of all of this.
So I really don't get it. And he's not like a psychopath where they're like, oh, the greater the sacrifice, greater the whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, not the best. But
No, that's why we gave it a 6.
yeah.
And like, I don't know, it's
Speaking,
just a little disappointing.
yeah. Speaking of not the best, there's Fast X. Jesus Christ.
Oh god.
Our video for that was like 10 minutes just because we were just like, it's too much. It's over the top. Jason Momoa is the best part, to be honest. But like everything else, we're like, what is happening? Why? How did we get here? Like,
I don't know.
if you showed someone Fast and Furious 1 and then skipped to 10, they'd be like, I thought this.
What happened?
Yeah, I thought this was the same movie. No, it's not. It's not even the same franchise.
Nah, yeah. I think majority of the Fast and Furious fans that like it like seriously ended at 5.
Yeah.
Like that's where it ended. It's straight up 5. And when they went to 6, they were like secret agents. And I'm like, stop. They were thieves, and now they could live happily.
Like secret agents taking on assassins. You're like, huh?
Yeah,
When did this happen?
and then like a dude who just came from stealing DVD players to becoming, oh no, Dom Toretto's out. He's the most dangerous man on earth. And I'm like,
Yeah, you're like, it's just escalation. And the weirdest thing, you're like, oh, you stole a DVD player. Watch out, you're wanted by Interpol. You're like, huh? How?
yeah, right. And then now we're getting more and more like Dom's brother, and there's that other secret agent guy who plays Jack Reacher. So
Yeah.
like, yeah. So it's everywhere. No, yeah. The only thing that like really stood out was Jason Momoa.
Yeah, as being like the Joker, which I saw a report that Vin Diesel blames Jason Momoa for the movie tanking at the box office. I was like, it's not his fault. He's the best part.
I don't think so.
Let's go back to shows for a bit. I think we can all, well, the both of us agree that Ahsoka definitely lived up to the hype that it had.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I completely agree that Ahsoka did live up to the hype, except for Episode 7.
Yeah, that was pretty much
Yeah.
filler. But I do love the fact that it was both more quiet than most Star Wars shows. At the same time, it was, a gift for both Clone Wars and Rebels fans. Like, it's somewhere where we can meet in the middle and be like, this is ours. Like, for Rebels fans, they're like, Rebels is our Clone Wars, and for Clone Wars, obviously, you're like, Clone Wars was my introduction to Star Wars, and now we have a show where they're like, all right, can like we can have something that's both ours, that we can claim that is both ours. We don't have to fight. The Star Wars fan base doesn't have to fight, but we can enjoy something together, and it definitely lived up to my expectations that I had in my head.
Yeah. No, I do love it that we got to see a little bit of Clone Wars. We saw Anakin, he came back. We saw a little bit of Rex,
Yeah,
and all the other like we saw some Gen 1 clones. It was nice, and I as you said, I like it that they took it slow.
yeah,
It is slower. It is quieter. Like with Ahsoka, it took its time to tell a story, which I really love.
Yeah.
And I also love it that Ahsoka doesn't stop growing. I don't like it that like a character is like, oh no, that's it. They learned what all they need to know, and then they're this omniscient God or Jesus figure that's like, I got all of the solutions. I got all the wisdom that you need.
Yeah.
No, Ahsoka will fuck up. Ahsoka will learn something, whether it be through a Force ghost or a horrible war flashback. but I really liked it. I really did, except for that one episode. But like other than that, it's great, and I can't wait for a season 2. Sadly,
Fucking-
one of the standouts passed away, but
Yeah, this year's fucking crazy when it comes to taking people we love. Like
yeah,
Ray Stevenson, um, I'm forgetting who passed away from Friends, but Matthew
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 Perry.
Perry, yeah. Oh my god, 2023 is so ruthless. Uh,
Yeah, dude.
but yeah, Balon Skoll, Ray Stevenson is one of the best new additions to Star Wars. So is his apprentice. Like his apprentice, um, the lady, the what do you call that? Dathomir witch that helped them get to Thrawn. All
Ah, yeah.
welcome additions and like of course the OG Star Wars characters that are getting more developed from Ahsoka to Ezra, Sabine, and then Thrawn were one of the reasons why I like the show so much is that they did Thrawn so much justice. Even though there's some weird complaints of the internet that he I don't like the fact that Lars Mikkelsen is too fat to be Thrawn. I was like, what fuck off. He's amazing.
He's not even fat. The fuck are you talking about? He's regular. What do they want? They want the rebels proportion.
I guess.
You know how weird that would look in real life,
Just ultra thin. You're like, are you a fucking stick?
right? Like he is, like Thrawn is model thin.
Yeah.
You know, like
They want
hasn't eaten in a week besides Tic Tac, so model
they
thin.
want this proportion. You see? You see this?
I mean, that's achievable, but like,
Yeah. But we already established years ago that animation does what real life can, but that doesn't matter because again, just Mickelson's performance, that stoic delivery. Oh, you're the apprentice of Anakin Skywalker. Okay. You're like, what's going on in the guy's mind? I want to know.
I would like to think that he got a little scared, but we all know he ain't.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, in terms of Star Wars having a win this year, I think this is their biggest win. Because like to skim over it pretty quickly, Mandalorian season 3 started out weirdly and then it ended pretty well. But you're like, why did it take so long for you to get here? Huh?
Yeah, like there was a lot of side missions until we got to the point where we're like, finally it picked up.
Oh, the
While
main-
this one was just up, 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 down, up. You know.
Yeah. Of course, with Mando, you're like, oh, the main point is to recapture Mandalore. Why did it take so long? But yeah,
Like we had to meet Lizzo and Jack Black.
yeah.
You know.
Christopher Lloyd too. You're like, I like celebrity cameos as the next person, but can we just pick up the pace, please?
Yeah.
And one last show is Invincible season 2 part 1, I guess. Again, pretty. I would say a slow start, but pretty good all the way. Like slow, but I wasn't bored with episodes 1 and 2. I was like fairly like, all right, I'm invested. I still care about Mark, Cecil, his mom, Adam, Eve, the rest of the new Guardians. I want to see where their story goes. Even though I know some details, but I don't know everything. But yeah, I'm still invested, and I can't wait for part 2. Hopefully, it doesn't take as long as season 2, part 1 to come out. Please, God.
Well, I mean, yeah, I like it. I like this one where we're just kind of like going through the motion as Mark and his mom's going through.
Yeah.
Like at the start, it's a little bit of a build up because they're still trying to pick up the pieces of what happened like a month ago or like 3 months ago.
Yeah, a month ago, you're correct.
Yeah, a month ago. And then, oh sorry, and then it just picks up once we like, oh, they're getting their shit back together. They're finally taking a step, and then they're back to square one. As
Yeah,
soon as like episode 4 hits, I was like, what the fuck?
right? You're like, I thought we were going places, happy places, but apparently we're not. And you're like, I'm glad that you called it that. They're like, we're gonna save Omni Man to like the last episode because we need to pace ourselves and then build up to like, oh shit, Omni Man's back. This is awkward. My alarm's going off for some reason. Dismiss. Anyway, and you're like, how are you gonna fix this? And we don't really get an answer of like how are they gonna fix this. They never really fixed anything, huh?
Oh no, no. Well,
Yeah, they just fought together in really good fight animation, and you leave off of like, now what do we do? We're fucked.
right? Like, what's the next episode coming out? Like,
Yeah, like Robert Kirkman, please.
well, really, there's no announcement yet.
No.
Fuck off.
I guess we'll wait till January or hopefully not later. Okay. So, quick mention to two small films that did surprisingly well this year. One is Talk to Me. I do like original horror. I thought this was excellent, and I do love the fact that it's set in Australia.
Ah, yeah, because, well, the people who made it are Australian.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're New Zealand or Australian, but like, um, yeah, good on you, Raka Raka. Like,
yeah,
damn. And, like, I'm really happy that they were able to make their movie and it you do feel it, you know, like you
Yeah.
do. It kind of brings me back when they would slam their head on the table. I'm like, yeah, that's very Raka Raka.
yeah.
You know?
I've seen that before in their McDonald's videos. Jesus. And I do love the fact that this cast, aside from Eowyn from Lord of the Rings, is mostly unknown. I do like that. So it gives them a launching pad to be in other movies, maybe horror too. Who knows?
Yeah, it was such a great concept. It was really freaky, but at the same time, like, probably had a message about certain substances when it came to kids, you know,
Yes.
and like kind of going overboard with it, or even trying it for the first time and immediately regretting it.
All right. The other small film, well, not really small, not indie, but like a movie I didn't think I would do so well in terms of like being good. Dungeons and Dragons is surprisingly good. Like I saw the
Oh,
trailer, I was like, that looks cheap, to be honest.
right, right. Like I didn't know how they're gonna do it when we heard they were gonna make a Dungeons and Dragons movie. We're like, how's that gonna play out? Because the biggest feature about Dungeons and Dragons is that you make your own character, you make your own story,
Yeah,
and you make your own decisions on how the outcome's gonna be. With this one, I was like, okay, they did it pretty well.
it's
Because like
surprisingly
it was,
hilarious too. Like comedic
yeah,
timing is excellent.
because they really played in. You could tell. I don't know if it was the writing,
Yeah,
but they might have, while doing the writing, probably rolled a d20 and saw how that would like come out. Like if it came out as an 18, they would do fine. But if it came out like as like maybe a 5,
yeah.
you would have that scene of Chris Pines just melting, just so you know.
Just all throughout the movie, it's like, have you ever seen the '90s D&D movie with what's his face? Scar from Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons, yeah, I like it. It was taken a little too seriously.
Yeah, Mr. I want my dragons. You're like, why? Why? Just why? But pretty good. Again, showcasing that Chris Pine is a master at acting and mostly at comedy, which I do love. And
Mm.
just showing that even though you have a limited budget, you can make a pretty good thing. Wait.
It was so good though. Like the music was great, the storytelling was all great.
Yeah.
You know, even the ending kind of like had us a bit of like, oh shit, will they? Won't they
Yeah.
make it? You know. So yeah, I'm so happy with how Dungeons and Dragons turned out. It was
Yeah.
such a fun movie.
Yeah. Which I cannot say about the next one, which is bad, which is Ant-Man Quantumania. pretty bad. What more can I say?
Yeah, it
Pretty
was pretty
pretty
bad.
trash.
It was a very bad introduction to the
Kang.
next big baddie. Yeah.
Question mark because I don't know about Jonathan Major's future. I heard rumors that they might shift to Doctor Doom because of that. That's why Secret Wars keeps changing directors and writers. I think Sam
Okay.
Raimi is up. Sam Raimi's up to direct the next Avengers movie. I
Okay,
think.
that's good. I like
Uh,
that.
yeah, but like, yeah, pretty bad movie. I thought the only standout is the one that we're like, I don't think he's gonna be in the MCU anytime soon, any longer, anytime soon. Um,
Yeah.
oh,
It, it,
did you
it, it
did you see
yeah.
that meme of like, there's a Godzilla -1 meme that says it took $15 million to make or less so, and you see how
Yeah.
Godzilla looks, and you see how Ant Man looks with $200 million as a budget, and you see MODOK, you're like, that's $200 million. How?
I don't fucking know. Dude, it is pretty much you know how clothing brands would like sell the exact same shit, like a white T-shirt. It
Yeah,
says Gucci on the tag.
yeah,
That's Marvel. They're like, like here's $400 for a shirt. It has the name Marvel on it. It's nice. It's everybody's favorite, and we all know they make great things. But the shirt that isn't worth
400.
the $100 price tag. Well, let's say Godzilla -1. It's a little bit pricey for a white shirt, but it is affordable.
Yeah,
Where it's like a Levi's like white shirt.
yeah,
It's like good quality. You know, it'll last you a long time,
yeah,
and probably cost you maybe 15-20 bucks.
yeah. Which is the funniest thing of like, I question, not really a question, but like I'm like, how did we get here? I think there's a book, there's like a puff piece that exposed the MCU with like the dilemmas and troubles they were having. Like the Marvels had like multiple reshoots. The VX team always gets crunch time. They barely get paid. What else was there? Just really bad stuff. So I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if either DC, which is looking to be the case, or some other genre takes over for our the next 10 years. You know?
Yeah, you know what? Look, all we know is that is coming back.
Hey,
Well, once Toho like starts bumping out them Ultramans,
yeah,
them like like rubber suit giant monster shit. Like there we go. You know what? You know what? I say Toho should be the one doing all the Godzilla lore instead of the
yeah.
studio that we have right now. I don't know which one it was.
Warner Bros. I think.
Warner Bros. But like, I would love to see Toho fully commit to the whole Godzilla, not just Godzilla. I want to see like King Ghidorah, Rodan, all of that jazz with Mothra in the style of Toho, with the magic of how Japanese people make films.
Right. You know, since Napoleon and Gladiator 2 are coming out back to back, I wouldn't mind if historical epics make a comeback.
Oh yeah, like there are a lot of movies that will be replacing Marvel as a you know
Um,
uh like as the medium for like, oh wow, let's get back into movies.
yeah. Oh, I mentioned DC, and I mentioned that it might take over because of this guy, James Gunn, which he made a pretty good last hurrah for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I thought it was a pretty good send off to characters that we love. Even though the lead is quite a bit, I don't know if a bit or quite controversial, but like
Yeah,
the rest of them, Batista, Bradley Cooper, Zoe Zeldana, it's an amazing send off to them. Mantis, who else?
yeah,
Groot, not so much
Rocket.
because I hear Groot was almost fired for forgetting his lines. I was like, how? How do you do that?
Yeah, he doesn't say anything else.
Yeah,
I am Groot, not
Yeah,
like the first fucking movie where he's like, "We are Groot."
yeah. You're like, how again? You've been doing this for 10 years almost. How do you forget 3 words? It's just I and am and Groot. Anyway, but yeah, pretty good send off. Um,
Yeah, I had fun, and then with his track record with like the Suicide Squad, like you know, for sure, if we just put him on the helm, I think we'll all be okay.
yeah, yeah. I know people have their reservations about him leading DC, but I am hopeful. Like I think it's about time it gets new blood into it and fresh new takes. Because for since 2016 we've just been punching bags for wrong decisions. Even
Yeah.
though it seems like they're like, oh, the Snyder cut. Are we going to continue this now? Huh? Okay. Are we keeping Henry Cavill? Everybody loves him as him. Everybody? No. Oh, okay. Okay, please let someone
They're
else
all
take over.
making the wrong decisions. We're like, what the fuck's wrong with you? They're the reasons why we watch.
Yeah, just giving us weird movies like Wonder Woman 2 and Aquaman. You're like, yeah. Can Ben Affleck at least get a solo movie? But no. But you do get a solo Batman movie in another universe. Okay. But yeah, going back to Guardians, I thought it was a very good and emotional send off. Like the end still kind of makes me again go, for 10 years, I love you characters.
Yeah. We didn't know jack shit about the Guardians when it first came out. Like, well, for sure, everybody tried to pretend like, yeah, we read the Guardians. No, you did not. Like, you did not read the Guardians. Neither did I. And once we got like, oh, they're a little quirky. They're a little bit of a ragtag group of, you know, like miscreants. I don't know.
Uh,
Once we found out they were fun to watch, we just went along with it and like, yeah, the Guardians of the Galaxy is pretty great, and I'm glad that Marvel was able to do that with a franchise.
yeah. It's
You
rare
know,
that the MCU has a perfect trilogy, if we're being honest. So, yeah. To see the
yeah,
Guardians join that rare club, I forgot who else is in the club. Spider Man. Um,
right.
Captain America, kind of.
Niche.
No one else is close, but yeah, pretty good send off for people who we were told were just a bunch of assholes and became super beloved characters. Again, unlike except the lead because he punched Thanos in the midst of battle, so there's that.
It's fine. It's
Speaking of Marvel, I think there's one Marvel movie that we can all agree, and I mean not just you and me, but everybody who is watching this agrees that it is platinum tier, which is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
dude. I don't think a lot of people agree. There's some people who don't like it.
Really? Huh.
Oh wait, no, wait, shit. No, no, I'm thinking about the other Spider-Man. So
Here we go again.
yeah, I was thinking of the one with Doctor
Doc.
Strange and all that.
No Way Home. But
No,
no.
wait, oh, my bad. Yes, yes, we all can agree this one's goated. This one probably gave us the one of like our favorite anti-heroes now.
Yeah.
Like if you never heard of Miguel O'Hara, probably you have now.
I
Like
I just rewatched it a day ago and I was like, God, you are terrifying, but at the same time, I wanna be you.
you want that back, that
Yeah.
Dorito back.
Gee, like I, Miguel. I want that.
See Poppy. But yeah, it had so much character, it had
Yeah.
so much style. I will say the soundtrack for the first movie was a little bit better compared to this one. No
Yeah.
offense, Metro Boomin. You still make really good music. But other than that, it was just so fun. And left us with a great cliffhanger where we're like, oh, shit, I want to know more.
Yeah.
How is this going to end?
Exactly. Like the smallest complaint I have is that Peter B. Parker takes a backseat, but like that's fine because Gwen and Miles take the forefront and carry this movie as the movie's protagonist, and like
Yeah.
it really pushes Miles' character to go beyond what his character went through in the first one, where he's like, "No, I do belong here. I don't care if I was bitten by mistake. I am Spider-Man." You're like, Yeah, you are, and you sing Gwen. Except like I do need people to help me carry the weight of the world because being Spider-Man is one hell of a job, or
Yeah.
Spider-Gwen is one hell of a job.
And it was like, and our next big baddie is Miles Prowler.
Yeah,
Like, that's
Tur-
just exciting as fuck.
turning the spot into something that is absolutely terrifying. Of like, yeah, at the beginning you're like, what the fuck are you?
Yeah,
I,
we thought villain of the week.
yeah, and now you're like, what the fuck are you? Jesus. Um, and yeah, for comic book movies, I would say Across the Spider Verse is again platinum in my book.
Yeah. I would say it was one of those movies that like had zero faults.
Yeah,
I could watch it all over again, which I might like later on, later today. But like, whew, I don't know, man.
pretty good stuff.
I remember once like the credits started rolling, everybody in the theater just went, "What the fuck?"
I saw one video where one guy goes, "That's fucking bullshit," but I love it. Me too. Amazing theater experience for me. I don't know about you. Did you have a good
Oh
theater?
fuck yeah, yeah.
Better than
There was no,
Ant-Man?
I don't think there was any annoying kid behind me or anything like that.
Better than your Ant-Man experience?
Oh fuck yeah, Ant-Man was horrible.
All right. So there are two more movies I would like to talk about, and they were more than Across the Spider-Verse. I think were the most hyped movies of this year, and they were a double feature, which is Barbie and Oppenheimer. And I would say for both of them, I would say they both lived up to the hype in my book. Um, I obviously went into both of them for different reasons. Oppenheimer for this, I don't know, knowing I was going through an existential crisis, and Barbie, knowing that I was going to have a fun time. I still got a strong message at the end with the speech at the
Wait, what
end.
the fuck you mean? We're still going through an existential crisis with Barbie.
Yeah, like that speech at the end, I was like, I need to rethink some stuff in my life.
Yeah, yeah. Like it was fun. Everybody kind of just, I don't know, when two movies kind of like
Yeah,
brought a shit ton of communities together, like very solid, movie goer like enthusiasts
yeah,
to like just like, oh, the Barbie movie. We really thought like, oh, the Barbie movie. It's just gonna be just a regular Barbie. We didn't know it was gonna be dank. You
yeah,
know, like that's a lot of things. We didn't know it was gonna be dank. We didn't know they were gonna say shit that were like, oh, my kid's not supposed to hear this.
yeah,
I think that's a lot of like, uh, a little bit of whiplash on like a couple of parents because they did bring their kids to the Barbie movie when it was a little bit too adult for their kid to. Well, I mean, they're still kids, so they didn't really understand. So I don't think it would have, you know, done damage or anything, something like that. So I say they're fine. They're fine, and it was so fun.
yeah.
And like, yes, people kind of learn. Some people learned a little bit more about patriarchy. I was like, you're supposed to know that from the start, but okay. I'm glad you learned. Better late than never.
Yeah. America for
Uh,
her speech that towards the end and the emotions that came out of my mom and sister and everyone else in theater, I was like, I'm glad this movie has come out for them. I really am. Um, but yeah, there's not much more I can say about it aside from like it's a good time. It's not, if not like a good existential time, but overall it's a pretty good movie, Barbie. Um,
yeah,
and like this coming from the director of like Pretty Women and Lady Bird, I think this is her best movie yet, to be honest. Um,
I love it. I love it when it's self-aware.
Me
I love
too.
it when a movie's very self-aware.
Uh, but yeah, also at the same breath, Oppenheimer is, I would say, is one of Nolan's best. You know what? Fuck it. It's Nolan's best for me.
Really,
Yeah. That being said, I haven't seen Tenet, so maybe I have to watch it.
you haven't seen.
No, I haven't. It keeps going away when I want to watch it. Can I say?
Watch it on like. Okay, I'm not gonna say it. I can't say it. I'm sorry.
But yeah, Killian Murphy, I would be surprised if he doesn't win any award for this. Same with Robert Downey Jr. or
Yeah,
Emily Blunt or Florence Pugh or any of one of the cast who has a major role.
but it was a pretty damn good movie. I remember watching it with my sister and my brother-in-law, and like as we just went through it, it was just pure on bliss of dialogue, and like you see the inner workings of a genius,
Yeah.
and then the regret, and then you see a state that we thought was good because it was considered the golden years, where they were like, nah, no,
Yeah.
everybody's evil. Doesn't matter what generation they're at.
Yeah, everyone has their major sins, and unfortunately, the future generation has to pay for it. Like that ending, too, where he just goes, Albert. You remember when you came to me with those calculations years ago, and we thought we would destroy the world? And Albert's like,
Chain reaction.
yeah, he's like, yeah, what of it? I believe we did. And you just see what we hopefully never ever have to go through in this lifetime, but a possibility definitely. And you're like, I hate this after credit scene. Really?
Yeah, like it was a little too real, but at the same time, we kind of have to see it because
Yeah.
now we're like, yeah, that is a huge possibility now that we could actually obliterate each other.
Yeah. Wait, I'll just search for upcoming movies of 2020. Is there any, before we end this video, is there any upcoming movies of next year, 2024, that you are looking forward to?
What's coming out next year?
Ooh. Okay. There's a double feature, and I don't know if it's going to be as big as Barbenheimer, but it is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes and Furiosa.
Oh yeah, I forgot those were coming out. Yeah, so yeah, I'm very excited for those. You know what I also am excited for? Boy the Heron. Yes, I know it released in Japan and the US around 2 days ago, but like it's gonna release in January for us.
Exactly. Fuck. What else is there? Fingers crossed, because there's Deadpool 3 with Hugh Jackman and
Oh
a
yeah,
shit ton of cameos.
yeah.
Uh,
I can't wait for that.
Speaking of comic book movies, there's Joker 2. I don't know how that's going to play out, but I am excited. I'll say that.
Okay.
What else is there? There's a lot of sequels. There's Inside Out. There's Inside Out 2. Huh.
Ooh, there's a new racing movie that's coming out. Race
Yeah.
for Glory.
Yes. Is that the Brad
Wait.
Pitt? No. Okay.
It is it's a story about the Group B rally scene and it was like a fight between Lancia and Audi. But yeah, it's I would say it is one of my favorite eras of racing, so I can't wait for it.
Okay. There is the Nosferatu remake that is coming from the director of The Lighthouse.
Okay.
Oh.
That- I hope it's in black and white. Uh oh. Hello.
I hope it's in black and white. Yes, it is in black and
Yeah.
white. Anything else? There is the Lord of the Rings anime movie. Huh.
Okay.
Okay.
Weird. All right.
Looking for things that I might not look forward to be honest. There's Venom 3. There's Craven the Hunter.
No, but I heard Spider-Man is gonna be there. Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
You know what? That
Yeah.
might just be worth it. There's Craven the Hunter with Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah.
Uh, there's no
look.
MCU movie aside from Deadpool 3 next year.
I will say I do have an honorable mention when it came to this year.
Okay.
It was The Creator.
I haven't
just
seen
watched it yesterday.
Ooh.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, it's not bad, but it's also not that great.
Oh no.
Yeah, like the visuals were there. I love the entire aesthetic of it, but I don't know what it is. We'll probably do a review on it in the future, but other than that, like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great.
Okay.
That's all I had to say.
Do I have one honorable mention? No, not really. I would say in terms of quality this year, I think movies have been pretty good this year. Aside from majority of comic book movies, unfortunately. Oh no, there is an honorable mention: Transformers: Rise of the Beast.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was fun.
that was pretty fun, even though it barely featured them, to be honest.
Yeah.
But in
It was
terms,
just Transformers, somewhat the Beasts.
yeah, it's like Transformers and some weird gorilla. You're like, oh, okay. But in terms of Transformers movies, if we're being honest, it's one of the better ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Bumblebee, this, and then maybe third place is no, third place would be the original Transformers, and then the rest is Michael Bay stuff, which is
Yeah.
not great. Fuck, I forgot TMNT, the new one too. Since you
Oh
mentioned
yeah,
it.
yeah, that was a really good one.
Yeah, I can't wait for the sequel. Um, I'm glad they're continuing this style of animation. I hope Kung Fu Bandit 4 has the style. To be honest,
Are they going with a new studio?
I don't know, but Dreamers also did the last.
Puss in,
Yeah,
yeah, Puss in Boots, and yeah, I would love to see Kung Fu Panda in that style.
yeah. But yeah, I can't really think of anything else that is late on the top of my head. You?
Yeah.
Alright,
Uh,
let's wrap this up. Yeah, but that has been our best and worst of 2023. What do you guys think? What's your best and worst? Comment down below. If you like our videos, please leave them a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok. TikTok and Spotify under the same name. Individually, I am Zoe Does Voices. On TikTok, I do voice impressions. I might be expanding to next year. Maybe I'll do Tron, Megatron, Optimus Prime. Who knows? I might even do. I don't know. I mentioned I might do Godzilla or King Kong. I don't know if my voice will.
I don't know how you're gonna do that.
Exactly. But yeah, where can they find you?
You can find me at John Gio on Instagram. It is more everything.
Yeah, and until the next video we do, well, is your dog mad that we're ending?
Why now? Like that dog's been barking for a while. I don't know why it's picking up now. Anyway, just close this off.
But yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.